Hello everyone and welcome back to the Winners Club podcast. Now our purpose of today's freestyle is to highlight and showcase the importance of being in control of your finances and your health, as we here at the Winners Club preach that health is your wealth in 2023 and beyond. Now if you are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so this way you are up to date on the Winners Club content, or if you are listening to this on an audio device, either Apple Podcast or Spotify or Amazon Music, please make sure to hit that follow button, as we greatly appreciate that as well. And you can find the link to our socials that'll be linked below down in the description. You can check those out as we post short form content over there. And now we wish you all to have a lovely day and an awesome week. Now let's get into today's freestyle.
So I wanted to talk today about the importance of finances at a younger age, monitoring them and growing avenues for setting up passive income. Because I mean, when we're young right now, it's just like the perfect time when you're soon to be 30s in your 40s even, having a source of passive income. It's almost like you have a water well that you have a faucet you turn on and off whenever you want, and that dictates all of the money that you make, just like how water, you know what I mean? You know how when you have like a water faucet, turn it on, you get water, it flows. That's kind of the philosophy of passive income. So I just want to know, like, what do you guys got to say for that?
I mean, I think at this age, like, this is the best time to get in control of your finances, just because the more older you get, you're going to have more responsibilities, more bills to pay. And if you can just get in hold of your finances now, it'll benefit you more in the long run with more responsibilities coming your way, whether it's working multiple jobs or owning multiple things. Even when you get a house too, your house comes with, your mortgage, and that's can be really, really high, especially nowadays, looking at the interest rates going up. Housing's even going through the roof too with how much it costs, like, especially in this state as well. I like to say it's like at least $500,000 for a nice house, rather than in Texas you can get one for like $100,000, $200,000. But anyway, just getting in control of your finances now, though, especially at a young age, and learning about it too, is only going to benefit you in the long run. So,
well, like you just said, I think now is the best time, of course. To learn your finances, because that's one thing they teach in high school. That's the one thing I feel like they should be teaching in high school. In high school, they teach you things that yeah, you should know, but they don't teach you things that are really, really essential in your lifetime. Because when you graduate, like you just said, you get more bills to pay as you get older, right?
Yeah.
And especially, a lot of college kids, they have to pay off tuition because, some parents don't pay tuition for them. So not only do you have college debt, but you have other bills to pay. And that's why, a lot of kids get so stressed out, because they were never taught finance. Because in most households, like, they don't teach their kids that. Like, were you taught that? Did your parents ever say you got to teach that? Did your parents ever say you got to teach that? My parents never sat me down and taught that. So that's why I'm like, I think it's so essential, especially even in college too. I mean, I think some colleges offer that, but especially in high school, which is growing up, even in middle school, it may sound complicated, but you could dumb a lot of things down for kids just to get the general aspect of passive income. Like you just said, it's like a faucet, right? Mm-hmm. But you have to build that faucet first. You have to build the whole regime system before you can actually turn the faucet on and control it.
Well, that's something, though, that now we see with passive income. Like, my dad is a vice president. Okay. My dad's a vice president at Florence Bank, and he is, like, in charge of, like, the whole bank statements. He gives a lot of loans out, a lot. He gave a loan out to build this whole Roots facility that we see in Westfield. Just like I said, for people who don't know, it's a huge soccer field, turf area that you can train. You can go there for events, birthday parties, whatever. My dad founded that and financed it. So he has, like, a lot of understanding about finances, but he also fails to understand that, cash flow is a legitimate thing now, where you can make passive income in today's world by simply just building a foundation that, it may not make sense, but can in turn, like you said, the faucet, and I previously mentioned, you flip that switch and you have passive income. So a friend that I just met named Jason Bajan, I just met with him, and he owns a couple e-commerce businesses, and he said that give me a really good visualization tactic to use. He said he wants to see younger people envision what it would be like retiring by the age of 27. I mean, and typically now we see, like, a lot of parents be like, "Oh, once you're 27, that's your time. That is your time to start working full time and have a good job." But there's ways where you can retire at that age as a millionaire. Yep. It's not like retiring with $20K a year. No, you're retiring as a millionaire at 27 now. Just imagine that. Like, you're young, you have like, we all have these good habits, and we preach these things like, oh, we exercise a lot, eating clean. So it's not like you're old and frail and then you're a millionaire. You know, that's kind of like the whole thing of put your money into a 401k and just wait. You know, by the age of 67, you'll be a millionaire. No. You could be a millionaire if you set up right now passive income. If you can find a way that works for you, and I know it sounds hard, but it's basically passive income is, picture it like you're digging a hole in your backyard and you go to the water well, say that's work, okay? You bring a bucket, you go, you fill it, and then you bring it back. You dump a little bit of that bucket, though, in a hole.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're putting a little bit of money aside to start building something. You do this over and over and over and over again, so now you have like a backyard full of 20 holes with a little bit of water in each. So picture it like you have 20 little accounts or one big account with money that's saved now. Do something with that, though. You know what I mean? You connect that water well to the faucet of the well, and then one day you just flip the switch, and now it just flows. You could be sleeping making money, basically. It's just how you do it, how you kind of go down an avenue of finances. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's that simple, though, is that you can go to sleep knowing that you're going to make money. So this guy, Jason Bajan, that I met, he said that he first changed his social circle, and then he later went and he was at a cookout with like a lot of company owners and stuff, and he was kind of bragging at first. He was like, yeah, you know, I make $90K a year. He was laughing at the time. He was like, yeah, I make $90K a year doing so-and-so, whatever. And then this guy was like, oh, that's awesome. I make $100K a year passive income only. That's insane. That's insane that he makes money. He makes $100K a year sleeping, basically.
Yep.
Not even being conscious in his work. And then Jason Bajan recommended a few books to me, and it was The 4-Hour Workweek that really stuck out to me by Tim Ferriss, because it's a legitimate thing. You can get to a point where at age 25, 26, you're only working 4 hours a week, and you're still living off of close to $150K a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically up to you. What I'm trying to say. Everything aside, it's basically up to you how you're going to live your finances. Just like how it is, it's up to you with how you want to live your life and the ways you want to think. Same thing with finances. And there was a study done by Tony Robbins that 80% of Americans feel temporarily depressed because of their financial situations. So look how you can avoid that. You know what I mean? You just start right now. It's the right now, the immediate knockout goals. I'm going to save $10 because this is going to build the habit for me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, anybody who knows me knows that I used to really struggle with spending money. I used to struggle saving, but now I make it a huge priority that I have another account, because I'm not worried about becoming a millionaire overnight. I'm not worried about having passive income tomorrow, but I am worried about building the habit right now. I can knock out the knockout goal like nothing if I say to myself, I'm going to save $50 this month. That's all it has to be, but we're starting it right now, and I want to just talk about the power of right now. What are some things that you guys can say for the audience right now that you can do to help your financial situation?
Start writing down your goals. That's the first thing. Like your friend Jason, he had spoke to you about the whole board that he looks at every morning, right? Was that a board?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whole kind of like wall or shrine.
Right, exactly. I know we've mentioned this before in the podcast previously about, what was it, an accountability board.
Yeah.
And your goal board and all that kind of stuff. That's something everybody is capable of doing. Even if it's just writing down on a piece of paper and just putting it, like taping it to your wall. That's one way you could start. You could start with, save $5 today. Save $10. Save $20. Or like you said, save $50 a month.
Whatever works for you. You know?
Right, exactly.
Whatever.
Obviously, everybody's different. Everybody's cash flow is different. You may not make a lot of money, but $5 can go a long way. You know what I mean? If you're consistent with it and you can save it. So I think one thing that y'all could do is write down your goals. Your short term, medium term, and long term. Your short term could just be like, save $5 today. That may not seem like a lot, but in the long run, that could lead to a lot. And once you get to that point, you can look back on it and be like, that $5 that I saved back then had just saved my life. So like that. What you think about that?
I think so. I think there's two things that people could do. Is one, obviously look at how you're spending your money. Number one, look at what you're spending it on each week and splitting it up to sort of, wants and needs. What do I need right now that I need to, pay off that car bill, or let's say groceries each week? But those out of those expensive, what ones are you doing reoccurrently? Like Like for me, I used to be big on coffee. I was literally going out every day spending Dunkin', and that $5, $4 on coffee, it adds up over time.
Yeah.
That can be $3,000 a year. I could have $3,000 without spending that much money in my pocket if I were to not buy coffee and make my own coffee. And I think just getting into the grip of how I'm spending my money, how are these companies taking my money, and is it benefiting me? Am I saving it or investing it for it to grow into a future? I think even just saving up for a Roth IRA is like the best thing. It only costs $6,500 to start one, but just saving towards that, so you have that retirement fund there for you, and also it's a 0% tax rate, so you're not getting taxed on it. It's just there in the retirement fund, which is pretty sweet. And also just like creating percentages each week. You can obviously have fun with your money, spend it on clothes, but don't spend more than you're earning, obviously, because, you want to save some of that, put it towards that car bill, and you don't want to go into loads of debt. And just creating that habit of saving and investing, you'll thank yourself in the long run too. Like even like paying off a credit card, make sure you pay that credit card off early, or you're going to run into loads of debt. And just building that habit of paying it over monthly, so you're not running into debt. It's just going to save you in the long run, and you're just going to have more money in your pocket too. So
I'm going to go off what you said real quick about the wants and needs thing. One thing I want to recommend to the audience is start saying this before you buy something. Do I really need this right now?
Say it out loud.
Say it out
I feel
loud.
like once you acknowledge it, yeah.
Do I really need this right now? Because I've been in that situation, especially at night. Because at nighttime, do you guys ever have the impulse to buy something like?
Yes.
Okay, I've been there so many times, and you young to start telling yourself, or asking yourself rather, do I really need this right now? I promise you, it'll change your whole perspective. Because I've done that before, and I'm like, you know what? I really don't need this right now. Because in the long run, it feels earned if you actually save for it, rather than just buying it when you get the money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you said, don't buy more than you actually earn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the basis of how to generate debt is it's basically like putting more it's overflowing a piggy bank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when it overflows is the money that you're actually losing. It's like it's falling out of the piggy bank.
Yeah.
So I like that visualization tactic. But wants and needs is a big thing. Like for me, a need for me is buying healthy food, but it can be expensive sometimes. You know what I mean? I'm very disciplined with what I eat, and I need this to be this way because I believe health is wealth. You need a healthy mind to function first, and you need the right energy. I mean, who really can say that they're superb at what they do, always feeling like shit? You know what I mean? So if you constantly are looking for little things to better yourself in the ways of what you eat and consume, you're not only increasing your health, but you're also increasing your energy to get things done during the day. So for me, my biggest thing that I need is healthy food, but I'm going to have to sacrifice other things because that takes a lot of the majority of kind of the money I earn on a weekly basis compared to the money I spend. So I spend a good chunk of my paycheck on groceries. I save another chunk, and then I have a little bit of spending money to do fun things. But I can't go crazy because then it takes money out. So I'm going to give you an example. Like this past weekend, I went to Whole Foods, and I had to take $30 out of my savings to cover my groceries. I was pissed. I got literally the ick. You know what I mean? I was like, why did I just do that? Mm-hmm. So now I replenished the money back. I mean, it is what it is. I put the money back in my account, and I'm just going to be down next week, but it's fine because I made that choice, though. I made that choice that these needs need to be a priority right now for where I want to get to. So I don't know about you guys, but what are your needs? What are your financial needs right now? And write them down in case you get, in case you don't know. Another need is gas. We all need gas.
All need gas, yeah.
We all need to pay bills. Whatever we do, like on our own free time. For me, I was paying a bill that I had to cancel. It was a monthly subscription for this meal planner thing. I'm like, do I need that? Am I being lazy? I can go do my research. I don't need that. Just like Brett said too, coffee. Coffee's one of the biggest ones because it's one of those instant little fixations in the mind. But it actually is a caffeine addiction. You're just addicted to caffeine. You're still gonna get caffeine, just make it at home. So do you need it? No, it's a want. Mm-hmm. But what are your guys' individual needs?
Like you said, gas,
yep.
Groceries, anything that has to do with hygiene.
Hygiene,
yep. That's a big one.
Big one.
I count that under groceries.
Okay.
Yeah, because I get them all together.
bill. Well, there's not a need, but like I need to pay it.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
credit card
bills.
bill.
Yep.
And then those are really the biggest ones.
I didn't even start a credit card yet because I don't think I can handle it yet.
Neither. No.
Genuinely.
I don't trust myself to do that.
I know
right
Brett's
now.
very up to par with his finances.
I do have a credit card, but I want to just paint the visual too. You can have a 100K job and have like you have the worst spending habits, and you can be in loads of debt, and you can have a 30K job and be financially free, debt free. You can have whatever earnings you can have. Also save a ton and invest a ton too. So it doesn't even amount to how much you're earning, but how in control are you with your finances? Because you are the one to get into control of your finances too. So just being in control of that too. And I also like to paint this imagery too, where it's like, at 211 degrees Fahrenheit, water begins to boil. But just that little 212 degrees Fahrenheit, that's when steam, comes out from the boiling water, which can literally power a steam engine train. So just that little flick of the switch right there, just that little change.
That's really, really good. And I also think it's good to be very brutally honest with your spending habits in the right now, present moment. So I just said out loud, I cannot handle a credit card right now because my spending habits are not disciplined enough where I would like them to be in order to handle spending on a credit card, because I want to build my credit card. I want to build my credit so that I can build a house. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to build my credit so I have a good enough credit for like spending, where I then can have something in turn of, okay, I want to build a house now. I can start and generate debt. Robert Kiyosaki talks about that. How debt can actually generate
income.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't have this proper spending habits right now. I mean, I make a decent amount of money per week for our age right now, where I can live off that and get my needs done and still save. But I can't also have a credit card on top of that because then I'm not going to be able to pay it. I'm also going to start hurting myself. I'm going to start being in debt at a young age, and I don't want that. You know what I mean? I'm very grateful that my dad and my mom pay my college tuition, so I don't have to worry about that debt. But right now, I am debt-free as a 20-year-old, and I'm very privileged to be in this position.
Me too.
Very grateful. But I can also fuck my whole life up right now if I start doing these little things like getting a credit card when I can't handle one right now. Like Brett can handle one because Brett's situation is different than mine. You know what I mean? It doesn't take away from the fact that like Brett's better than me or I'm better than him just because he has a credit card and I don't. It's just understanding your financial situation. Everybody like I said before, you can be a millionaire by 27 if you can do the right steps, but you're not going to be a millionaire by 27 if you're spending all your wants and needs whenever you feel like it. Right. You know what I mean? It'll never be that way.
Whenever you get that money, you just want to spend it.
Yeah, it's about sacrifices too, financial sacrifices. Like I love clothes, love going out, love buying like stuff that makes me feel good, but unfortunately I have expensive taste, so I resort to like buying clothes now is only thrifting because it's cheap, it's affordable, and I have to be picky with what I get. You know what I mean? Like I can't just see a random thing and be like, oh, I need a shirt, I'm gonna buy it now. Kind of like how I would, like you said before online, I'd scroll through my phone and just be like, oh, I like that shirt. You know what? I'm just gonna buy it. It's right there in front of me. Now I have to like really look at the shirt in person. I have to feel it. You know what I mean? It's weird, but it's like, oh, okay, the fabric's actually not that good.
Right.
Yes.
Like, oh, you know, it's really not that good. I didn't need that. Well, when you're in person and you're physically shopping for something or thrifting, you see, you're like, oh, I don't really need that. It makes it unattractive.
Yeah.
It's like the bad habit of spending, like we talked about from Atomic Habits of James Clear. We make it unattractive now. I'm like, oh, I don't really need that shirt. And I could leave Goodwill without having any money spent. And I'm feeling better about myself. Like, oh, you know what? I went in there, thought I needed some stuff, realized I didn't. I didn't need to spend money. Same thing with groceries. Like, I'll write down a grocery list. If I need a couple extra things that I forgot of, I'll buy them. But if I need something like I like having granola on my yogurt sometimes or some shit like that. Do I need granola on my yogurt now? No. So I stopped having that shit because I don't need it. But then I looked up too, like the groceries that have the best, it's like the simple 10 things that I need. And right now, like the only things that I'm doing, I just started a new diet where all I'm going to have is like basically meat or like carnivore products. So like meat, eggs, other shit like that. And just fruit. And maybe a little bit of rice, but my parents buy that shit, so I don't need it. But it's like, I'm going to have that because those are my those are my needs. They're going to have like the best, it's the best for what my goals right now are. But I don't need anything else. So I don't need that stupid fucking granola. It's not going to do shit for me, you know what I mean? It's a want. Yeah, I mean, it's going to taste good. My yogurt might taste good when I have it. Is it a need? No. It's okay. It's okay to live a little bit ghetto in your 20s. You know what I mean? People don't get that. They try to be bougie, I feel.
Yes, yeah.
I'm getting out of that mindset because I was living like that. But it's okay to be broke at 20. It's okay to just get out of building habits to get out of bad ones or starting good ones.
Yeah, just living below your means too.
For sure.
Is the best way to honestly get a roll of your finances, get a hold of them. So I always try to, live below your means a little bit, because you don't really like, you'll buy that like wicked expensive coat or whatever just to get like opinions of who doesn't really matter to them. When you can like earn money and like, let's say, for example, like I'm really trying to earn so I can like give money back to my mom because she did buy me my first car. And I think just having that like proudness of, okay, I worked for something and I just, made someone else happy is just, it's way better than making anyone else on the internet or like friends happy or impressed at, buying this sort of, luxury coat, or that luxury shoe.
I agree. I mean, people buy things they don't like to please people that they also don't like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, or necessarily buy things that they don't need to impress people they don't like.
Yeah.
So it's like you just said though, working for something that meant a lot to you. Your relationship with your mom was actually what you're kind of working for. It's
exactly.
It's not the car itself.
No.
So, I mean, obviously you appreciate the car, but what you're doing is for a person that you truly admire and you want to return a favor. So that's great. That is a need.
Yeah.
It is a need because you feel fulfillment. That's kind of like what the psychological breakdown is of wants and needs. Are you going to feel fulfilled, or are you going to possibly be filled with regret? Same things with, it's an action. Financial spending is an action. It's kind of just like when you behave. Behavior is an action. When you lash out on somebody, you're going to regret that most of the time. Unless they really deserved it and they were pushing your buttons for a while. But most of the time you regret it and you apologize. You know what I mean? It's an action that you regret. But like, you could say you're sorry, but you can't just get your money back when you're like, oh shit, I actually, give my $20 back. I don't like this coffee that much. I'll take my $7 back from Starbucks. No, you can't do that though. So that's why it's so hard, because people in finances, they don't understand that concept. Where it's like, you can't always return everything. You know what I mean? Like Brett can't return his $3,000 worth of coffee that he was spending a year at Dunkin'.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can't.
You can't do that. It's gone. Once it's out of your hand, it's most likely gone. Understanding that's a big thing. But I don't know. I would say though that as a 20-year-old, do what is best for your current situation. Right now my current situation is I'm going into my second semester as a sophomore at Westfield State University. I don't pay my college tuition. I have my own car, and I have 2 jobs. That's my situation right now. What can I do to maximize that? So at one point, I also visualize the lifestyle that I want to live when I'm 25, 27, 29. I want to be able to be retiring at that time and be able to, go to Sorrento, Italy if I want a pizza, go on a week vacation and take my whole family, you know what I mean? I want to be able to do that stuff. But what do I have to do right now to get to that point? Right now is, like you said, live a little bit below my means, take care of my car, keep, going to school and at least maximizing the money that my parents are spending on me. I'm very grateful for it, but continue my education and build a way of passive income and meeting the right people. That's kind of my blueprint. And right now, what does that do? Like right now is, okay, I'm not gonna buy a fitted when I get a paycheck. I'm not gonna buy a pair of Dunks or a pair of Jordans. Do I want that? Fuck yeah. I would love that shit. I think I would look really good with like some stuff like that, like a new pair of like Jordan 1s. I was looking at the Mochas the other day, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, I do not need these though. I don't need these. I just want them. So I was like, you know what? Instead, I'm gonna buy books, furthering my education. You know what I mean? Or instead, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna go shopping at Whole Foods. It's gonna hurt my paycheck a little bit, but it is gonna be really important for my health. You know what I mean? Especially because I've been feeling, you can tell I have a cold right now. I was eating like shit the past like 2 weeks because I just had I just had a grad party yesterday, and then I was like having a lot of dessert and shit, so I fucked up my whole diet, and now I'm getting the repercussions of it. So I'm like damn, all right, I do need food because I don't usually get sick, so it helps. But it's maximizing your current thing. So Miles, what is your what is your current financial situation right now? When you go to school, are you paying for it? Are you paying for your car? And what can you do right now to live a life that you want to visualize?
Well, I'm not paying for school, but I'm paying for my car, and definitely just visualizing my my goals and just writing down stuff that I really, I guess, don't need, and the things that I need. So, starting off with that for sure, and just continuing to ask myself, you know, do I really need that right now, and stuff like that. But,
well, you bet.
Yeah, so when I go back to school, I commute, so I'd save a little bit on, you know, I don't have to do housing or any of that stuff. But I do have a credit card that I do pay every, you know, month. It's a secured one, so it's not technically like a whole credit card yet. It's sort of like a baby one. I haven't like signed up for a whole new credit card, even though I'm eligible for one. But this is just in case, so I can build up, you know, my FICO score and just build credit with that as well too. But just getting in the habit of saving up towards that as well. And also, I was just telling these guys about an app called Rocket Money. So if you want to download Rocket Money, like it's not a paid promo or anything. Like there's just free promo to them. But Rocket Money is a cool app where you can actually see, you know, what your subscriptions are. So if you have, you know, Disney Plus, Netflix, you know, any of these monthly subscriptions or weekly subscriptions, however long they are, you can actually see how much you're spending, and also you get to see how much you do earn each week with your jobs, because you can set up where you can plug in your cards to it, which is pretty sweet. And you also see how much you spend each week, and it'll let you know if it's like, it'll give you a percentage of, oh, this is like 99% less normal than how much you spent the last week. And each month it also shows a graph of sort of like the ups and downs of how much you spent that month and how much you like saved, and it shows like a double chart. It's so cool. But I do recommend that app. I think it's a great app for getting a hold of your finances, seeing how much you spend, and also you know, getting control of that habit, sort of wants and needs, like we were all saying on this pod today. But yeah, no, I think that app is really beneficial it's been beneficial for my life, and it can benefit you guys. So
I just downloaded it like a minute before it started filming, so yeah, man, I'm gonna try it. But
my recommendation too is, if you're gonna spend money, put it towards something that's gonna boost your knowledge on finances or just your knowledge in general. Like you said, books. Books, I think, is a big thing.
Seminars,
right?
Even like coaching or mentorship programs. I
Right.
know people think that it sounds sketchy, but what it actually is that it's opening avenues of meeting the right people. Even if you're not, you know, seeing the immediate effects, like it's gonna take a lot of time. Passive income takes a lot of time to generate. Just like getting a good source of knowledge is gonna take time to generate. But going down that avenue of surrounding yourself with people that can help you and people that you can learn from is a huge thing. It's a really good way to spend money. It's an investment to you, really, is what it is. I don't know if that's what you're getting at with that, but it's an investment for you.
Yeah.
You know, but. Tim, I'm gonna just mention it again, but like for me, like health is wealth. Yuka is this really good app. I know I say it all the time, but I'm gonna say it again.
Shout out Yuka.
There's a lot of different things. Like, okay, I love Kirkland protein bars. I used to get them at Costco, and I thought they were really good. It was like 10 grams of like fiber, 2 grams of net carbs, 21 grams of protein, not a lot of additives, and I even scanned it on Yuka, and it was like 70 something, like 75.
It wasn't
80.
bad, but
It was good. But then I looked more into it, and I'm like, oh, there's like a little bit of citric acid. There's a little bit of little things like that's not whole foods. You know what I mean? So that's going into my brain, and it's almost like when people use non-stick pans or stick pans.
Yeah.
You get chemicals that go into your bloodstream that neurologically get into your brain, that alters the way you think, because it doesn't belong there. Do you know what I mean? So now I really base my premise of my diet off of whole foods, and it's not perfect. I'm only 20. I can't be going out and buying like a whole new kitchenware and everything. But I could start acting on it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to get unsatisfied because I'm better than the person I used to be with that. And that's all it is, just being better than who you used to be. If you're going to take time to self-reflect on where you were 4 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, are you better than who you used to be in terms of finances, in terms of mental health, in terms of physical health, everything? Are you better? And if the answer is yes, keep doing what you're doing. But if the answer is no, you've got to be real with yourself and you've got to be honest. I feel like that's what people do when they're financially in debt is that they're not honest with themselves.
Now, we hope you enjoyed today's listen to the new freestyle. Again, if you are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and also turn on the bell notifications so that way you never miss an update of the Winners Club. And make sure to like and comment down below any thoughts or suggestions, as we greatly appreciate any support that we can get. And now we hope you all have a lovely day and an awesome week, and until next time.